I have a disability. This is
You still there, sir?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just trying not to cry. I'm trying not to cry right now. This is going to screw me over hardly.
Yeah.
I'll give you a prime example. I get Medicaid and Medicare due to my situation. I won't get into it, but I'm very lucky compared to most of my disabled friends.
Okay.
And so my chair, sorry, I'm trying not to cry right now.
It's all right. Take your time.
My chair would cost the average American $10,000.
That's awful. And under the Medicaid plan that you're on with your chair, were you able to get it for free?
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
because my Medicaid and my Medicare covered it.
I'm grateful for that, at least. But you're absolutely right. Imagine if you didn't have this chair.
Right.
And I don't know exactly what your disability is, but I'm grateful that at least you were able to get that help. Think about this for a second. Over 10 million people are going to lose their Medicaid coverage if this bill passes. 10 million. Yeah. 10 million. One is too many. 10 million. What's going to happen to people like you? What's going to happen to people who lose their Medicaid?
I don't know. That's the thing. And even my girlfriend's on this stuff. And I don't know. I'm just trying to see the positive in all this, and there's no. I'm beyond.
Are you employed, my friend?
Yeah, I'm employed, but
yeah,
that's the other thing that needs to be changed. Is the only thing I agree with, right, out of this whole entire bill, which still needs to be worked on, but the only thing I agree with, is there should be work requirements,
right?
Because to me, I have friends that are on Social Security that can work.
Right.
But they're choosing not to work.
All right. So here's what I would say to that. Here's what I would say to that. And I think the word is empathy, and you sound like a really nice guy. Now, listen, if you're somebody who is sitting on their ass and they're able to work, but they don't want to because they're lazy, I think there's a very difference between that and somebody that is struggling and is trying to work and maybe doesn't have a quality education or maybe doesn't have the necessary skills to do certain jobs. I still want those people to be on Medicaid. I think it's a case-by-case basis, but that's not what the Republicans are saying. They are making
I get that.
they're making generalizations. I'm not saying you are, but they're making generalizations that everybody in this country that's not working is lazy, right? That's what we hear about. That's what we hear from the right all the time, and it's just not true.
And that's not true. And so that the thing to me, it's like, yes, do I want to have work requirements on there? Yes. But for people who really need it, they need it. You know what I mean?
Correct. Most people there's always going to be a small percentage of people that are going to take advantage of the system, but the overwhelming majority of the people that are on Medicaid need it. The overwhelming majority of the people that are on food
100%.
stamps need it. Food stamps, welfare, maternity leave. The overwhelming majority of people that are on these government programs desperately need it to live, and Republicans don't seem to care. They don't care.
So this is okay. So I'll kind of like peel back the curtain of my situation, right? Part of the red tape that our lovely government has put on me is that I can only work 16 hours a week to keep my benefits.
Right.
If I go over that, I lose them. I mean, everything.
And that's another problem. They're not persuading you or saying, hey, if you work more, we'll help you more. They're actually saying the opposite. The government is basically saying, if you work more, we're going to take all your benefits away. If you work 20 hours a week, you might make an extra $100 a week, but you're going to have to pay thousands of dollars a month for medical benefits. It makes absolutely no sense, but you'll never hear Republicans come to the table and say, hey, we need to address this. We need to address that. It's only, nope, we need to cut this. We need to cut that. Some of the most vulnerable people in society. Well, my friend, I hope you're okay. I'm glad that you have the chair that you need. I hope you continue to remain on Medicaid, and I will certainly always fight for people like you in this country. So I really, I'm honored that you listen to the show, and I really do appreciate you, you and your girlfriend, and I wish you guys nothing but the best. Okay.
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much.